TikTok ads is growing every single day. More and more jewelry brands start running ads on this platform. And combining with Facebook ads, this is going to make your business unshakable. So what I'm going to do in this video is I am going to show you how to create your first campaign for your jewelry brand from scratch, exactly step by step, so you can walk away from this video with absolute clarity. So let's get started. And first of all, before you start running any ads on TikTok, as we would start running ads on Facebook, we need first of all to create a business account, right? Where we are going to have under that business account an ad account, which I'm going to talk later on about how to create your ad account. And then under your ad account, we will create our campaigns. So you have to go to business.tiktok.com. And then if you have already an account, if you already created that, then you simply have to log into your account. But I assume that you don't have an account, so that's why we have to create a new one. For that, you're gonna click on the create new button. It's kind of highlighted with this kind of red color. Then here, this process is very self-explanatory. So here you're going to add your email address, the password, and then after that you'll click on send code, and they will send you a code via your email. You will put the code here and you'll click on sign up. Also, you could sign up through your TikTok page. If you have a personal TikTok page, you could also use that for creating a business account. Something that you have to keep in mind that I noticed with my clients, and when I created also a TikTok business account, is that sometimes this verification code is going to take quite some time until they send you. So you have to be patient. Usually it might take you a couple hours until they send you this code. I'm not sure what's going on with this process, but it's something that you have just to be aware of. Now at this point, after creating your business account, once you go to business.tiktok.com/manage, after that, you're going to see this kind of dashboard. It's going to be very, very similar. Right here, we will see a very similar dashboard as we would have on Facebook business kind of account, right? So you could have here things like members. You could add some members here, partners. And then here's the most important thing. So we have to make sure that we create an ad account. I've already created an ad account before recording this video, but this process is very simple. So you're going to click on add advertiser account. You will click on create new. Next, you will enter the account name, the time zone where you're based, right? The company name, the company website, and also the industry. In our case, because this video is about jewelry brands, we're gonna select e-commerce, and then under this industry, you are going to select jewelry, and then you will click next. Something that you have to keep in mind is that for TikTok, it might take around 2 to up to like 24 hours to verify your ad account. So that's something you have to keep in mind as well. The moment when your ad account is verified, now we have to go to the ads manager, right? So this is the business account. Now we have to go to the ads manager where we will start creating our first campaign. For that, you're going to click on the top left icon, and here you will click on the ads manager. So first of all, you have to select the business and the ad account, and now they will send us to page where you start creating your campaign. If you want to see that dashboard with all your campaigns, your ad sets, you're going to click on campaign, and then here you will see a very, very similar dashboard to the Facebook Ads Manager. First, I want to say that similar to Facebook ads, we have three kind of layers, 3 steps to create any kind of ad, which is our campaign, ad group, which is similar to ad set in Facebook ads, and then we have an ad level where we create our visuals. So let's start with our campaign, right? We're gonna click on the create button. And now first we have to select our advertising objective. So as I highly recommend for Facebook ads to use conversions, on TikTok I will keep saying the same thing. So you have to use conversions if the number one objective is to get sales, because TikTok is going to show your ads to a group of audience who is more likely to convert if you are selecting this advertising objective. So I'm gonna select conversions, and now scrolling down, so we have to name our campaign name. Usually for the campaign name, I set something very simple like prospecting, testing. So all the TikTok advertising campaigns, for my clients, I use them only for acquiring customers, so they are more like for the top of a funnel. You could still use retargeting campaigns for TikTok, but personally I don't use that much, because for my clients we convert people with email, with also Facebook ads retargeting. The two other features on the campaign level is A/B split testing and campaign budget optimization. I personally like to use a manual testing. This is something more automatic, created from TikTok. And also for campaign budget optimization, I noticed that it doesn't really work that much, and I've tested quite a bit this type of budget strategy. So usually I set the budget at the ad set level, which I'm gonna show you a little bit later on. For the budget, I keep no limit. If you have some kind of limits, in that case, you could take a look at that as well. So that's basically everything that we have to tackle about campaign objective. Let's move forward to the ad group. We're gonna click continue. And now let's name our ad set, which usually this is kind of my blueprint. So this is gonna be something like interests, right? So instead of interest, you're gonna put exactly what interest you're going to target. Then it will be the age and gender plus location. So this is kind of a blueprint for the ad group name. When I create any ad sets, I follow this plan and I just change exactly which interest, which age, which gender I use for that particular ad group. For the promotion type, we will select website because we want to send people to our website where they could convert. As we have a tracking code for Facebook, which is called Facebook Pixel, on TikTok, this is called TikTok Pixel. So I already created a TikTok Pixel, but in order to create a new one, you're gonna simply click on this small icon which says create. And in order to create a new pixel, I first have to delete this one. So now you're gonna see something like this, right? You'll click on the create, on this button create pixel. You'll select TikTok Pixel, then click next. Here's the thing, so if you are using Shopify, this is going to be a super easy process. The developers simply could not make it easier than that. If you're not using Shopify or other platforms that you will see in just a bit, in that case you'll have to install that pixel code manually, which again is pretty straightforward. They have a very straightforward process. So let's name our pixel, like let me just put it a simple pixel name. I will click the second option, which is using a partner platform, and then I will click on Shopify. I'll click next. Now you have to go to your Shopify account, install the TikTok app, which is an app that is absolutely free. You'll add that app, then under that app you'll connect your TikTok business account, which you already created, right, if you remember, to your Shopify account, also your ad account, which again we already created. Here you will have to turn on the cookies and also the automatic advanced matching. This is going to allow us to have better attribution. And then we'll click next. Also on Shopify, make sure that under the TikTok app you will select for the data sharing maximum, because this again will help the TikTok Pixel to attribute much more sales to your campaign, which ultimately will lead to more conversions and less costs. You'll click then next and then complete setup. Afterwards, you will need to set up the events, and that's kind of a whole process of creating your TikTok Pixel for your ad account. It's a very easy process. If you still have some kind of issues, then just reach out to me and I might help you personally to install your TikTok Pixel. So let's go back to our TikTok ad account. We'll select our pixel, and by the way, when your pixel is set up, instead of no recent activity, it's going to say something like active. Now here's the most important thing. For the optimization event, you gotta make sure that if you're just starting out, you have to use much upper level event from your funnel. What I'm saying is that for a jewelry brand, usually it's going to be something like add to cart. We do not want to use with purchase optimization event, such we would use with Facebook ads. I highly recommend using purchase for Facebook ads, but on TikTok, you have to be aware that the algorithms are not so smart as the algorithms from Facebook. So that's why if you are trying to skip this part, trying to optimize for purchase straightforward with no data, if your pixel is not seasoned like at all, in that case you will see usually that first of all the results will be extremely bad, and secondly the ad set is simply not going to spend because TikTok is going to be confused who to show your ads to. They don't know who is your ideal customer at this moment. We have to season our pixel before we try to optimize for lower funnel optimization events such as purchase. By the way, on TikTok it's called actually complete payment instead of purchase, but it's the same thing. So moving forward, we have next thing, placement. Now again, here I love to use manual placements, and I want to deselect Buzz, Video Feed, and Pangle. I just want to select TikTok because this is a place where people convert the most, and this is what we are striving for. We want to get as many purchases as possible with the highest ROAS for our jewelry brand, right? And with less costs. And using the TikTok placement will allow us to do that. Let's move forward, and here we have the next section, which is creative type, and this is automated creative optimization. To understand this better, it's kind of similar to dynamic creative on Facebook and Instagram. So you are giving some kind of assets, some kind of videos and multiple texts, multiple copies to TikTok, and then they are going to combine differently, and they're gonna display these ads more like personalized to each user based on how they behave. But I've tested that and it didn't really work for me. You could do that as well, but in the beginning I just simply recommend not using this feature at all. Over time, once you get more experience on this platform and you get some more traction and you start getting better and better results, you could use that as well. But for now, I also don't see very much data from each creative. It's quite difficult to understand which ad is converting. So that's why I like very much to test manually my creatives. And here's the most important thing, right? So we have targeting. Again, with targeting, we have custom audiences, which is our retargeting audience. We have lookalikes as well, and we have interest-based targeting. And on top of it, we also have automated targeting. But if you're just starting out, do not use automated targeting because it's going to target completely the wrong audience. Because how this works is that they look based on your previous campaigns, on who actually converted before, and then they will kind of start targeting similar people like that. But in our case, because this is our first campaign, it's not going to work at all. Now let's go into our actual targeting. So first of all is our location. This is very self-explanatory. Do not try to complicate it, because I noticed so many people try to complicate this location, where I should show my ads, in what kind of location is going to convert the best. First of all, you have to be aware that you have to make sure you have to deliver that product within maximum 5 days. If you cannot deliver that within maximum 5 days, do not even try to target that market, because people are pickier and pickier and pickier. Consumers want to get their product as fast as possible. So target the country where your customer is and where you could deliver your product fast enough. And here's the thing that I noticed. In Europe, if you're based in Europe, if your business is based in Europe, and if you want to target people in the US, you can't. In order to target an audience who is based in the US, you have to work with someone who is based in the US, and vice versa. I cannot, for example, in this ad account, I cannot target the US. Like you could see, if I type United, you're going to see that I have two options, United Arab Emirates and United Kingdom, but I don't have United States. But when I get access to one of my client accounts who is based in the US, I can target the United States. So that's something that you have to be aware of. Probably over time this is going to be solved, but at this moment, recording this video, which is June 7th, you can't do that. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to select United Kingdom. Now, for languages, I want to use no limit, which means all languages, because I don't want to narrow too much my audience, because I noticed that is affecting negatively the performance of your ads. For the gender, if most of your customers, let's say 90% of your customers are female, in that case, go ahead and select female. But if the audience, let's say your customers is 50-50 or 50-60, in that case, just go ahead and select all genders. As for the age, this is the biggest misconception that I've heard. So many e-com owners think that TikTok is a place where my customers do not hang out. Meaning is that only young generation, only from like girls and boys from 13 to 17, they are on TikTok. But older generation, they do not stay on TikTok. They stay on Facebook, they stay on Instagram. And actually that's not true, because over time, if we look at the statistics, we're going to observe that actually older and older generation go to TikTok as well. So that's why your audience is on TikTok. And when it comes to targeting, I actually want to target only people from 18 till 55 plus. And the reason behind that is that if you are trying to target also this younger generation, you are going to see that the clicks are going to be much higher. These people, they click on the ads, but the conversion rate is pretty low because usually they cannot really like afford buying things through ads. So you have to be aware of that, and that's why I just prefer targeting everyone from 18 plus. And even if you know that your audience is, let's say, from 18 till 35, I still recommend targeting also from 45 till 55 plus, because like I said, you don't want to narrow down too much your audience, because that is going to end up with like a much worse performance for your campaign. So let's go further, and this is something that you have to neglect. For your brand, this simply does not make sense in our case. Now here is the section where you would include custom audiences and lookalike audiences. For now, we are going to ignore that. This video is not about custom audiences or lookalike audiences. Maybe in the future, I might record about those two audiences on TikTok. If you would be interested, let me know in the comments below. We can also exclude some audiences on TikTok. And probably a big concern that you might have is that should I exclude my past purchasers on TikTok as I would do on Facebook? Because we know, for example, on Facebook, if you don't exclude website visitors or purchasers, in that case, even in your prospecting, you're going to keep showing your ads to that retargeting audience, because the way the algorithms work is that they believe those people will convert. On TikTok, algorithms work a little bit differently, and you cannot exclude any of your custom audiences and still target only cold audience in your prospecting campaign. So they're not gonna show your ads to that retargeting audience again and again. And here's the most important thing. So here we're talking about interests and behaviors. And this is something that I recommend. In the beginning, if you're just starting out, just use interests. Interest, most of the time, will work the best for a jewelry brand and in general for any kind of e-commerce brands. So let's click on this drop down, and here when it comes to the interest, you want to use a broad interest. So in our case, for your brand, something that is going to make much more sense will be, let me see where that was, apparel and accessories. And here's the thing, so if we click on this drop down, we're going to see interests like bags, let's see men's clothing, men's shoes. So there are some interests that actually don't make sense very much to jewelry, but I still recommend using this interest. Again, you don't want to narrow down this interest. You will see by having this broad interest, the performance is going to be much better. So just by clicking on a few things, your performance is going to be much better on TikTok. And once this campaign is launched, after I would say 5, 7, 10 days, TikTok is going to recommend you some more interest to add automatically. And that's a feature that I would recommend using, because they are pretty good actually at finding more relevant interests that your audience might be interested in. So when your campaign is active, take a look at your campaign and see how it performs, and look at this section because they will recommend more interest. So make sure to add them on top of what you said before. The next thing is behaviors. If you click here, what you can do, this is a pretty interesting feature. You can target people who watched till the end, liked, commented, and shared video from category, let's say, so in our case it's going to be something like beauty and style, and also we have to select the time period, so let's say 7 days. So we will target people who watched a video, liked or commented or shared within this category in the past 7 days. This is pretty cool, but the thing is that if you are using a broad interest like this audience is going to be included within this audience. So either you're adding this or not, the difference is not gonna be very big. The next category to target your audience is by targeting some followers, or people who viewed a profile from some influencers or content creators within a specific category. So in our case, it's going to be fashion and beauty. I tested this audience particularly in just one single ad set, and I noticed that it doesn't work as well as the ad set with just interest. You might test that out on your own for your ad account in the future, but keep in mind that usually interest will outperform this type of targeting. And the same thing with hashtags. You could target specific hashtags. But if you're just starting out, and even if you've run some ads in the first 3 to 6 months, just use interest, because that will give you the best results ever. After selecting your interest group, next is targeting expansion. This is something that I suggest using. Targeting expansion, and then click on the interests and behaviors. By clicking just on these 2 buttons, your results will be usually much better. So usually what this is going to do is targeting algorithms are going to display our ads to an audience who might be beyond the interest that we've selected. So over time, the algorithms will understand better and better who to serve your ads to. And then by selecting this option, usually they will actually show your ads to a group of audience who is really interested in your product. So your conversion rate might skyrocket at the time. Okay, so hopefully this makes sense. Let's go to the budget and schedule. And here, the minimum budget that you could use is 20 euros a day. And usually I use daily budget instead of lifetime budget, because I like to have a control of setting up the budget, of increasing the budget whenever I want and whenever I think that campaign should be scaled. Let me just set a budget for now, but in the future, if you want me to record a video about how much you should spend on ads on TikTok in order to get profitable results, let me know in the comments below, because this is a very broad topic and there are lots of things to talk here, and I have to go very in depth in order to explain this thing. So I do not have much time for this video to go in depth on this topic, but let me know in the comments below, so I might record a video about that as well in the future. For the next thing, when it comes to when you want to run your ads, make sure that you use all day. Do not try to be specific with the time and things like that, thinking that you are going to save some money. No, that is going to actually burn a lot of money, because you cannot outsmart the algorithms, period. You have to work with algorithms at the end of the day, because the AI is getting smarter and smarter, so you simply cannot outsmart the algorithms. Do not even bother. So for now, we will select conversion. Over time, when your ad account gets more spent and when you get some more traction and more conversions, then the value optimization is going to be unlocked, and this is something that I recommend using. With value optimization, TikTok, what they say is that they will deliver your ads to users that are more likely to make a purchase with purchase conversion value much higher than with the conversion objective. That's something pretty cool, and with value optimization you really can get purchasers who are spending more money on your website, which that will increase your average order value and is going to give you much more profit. And we know that this is by far one of the most important things for scaling an e-commerce brand. For the bid strategy, do not try to use cost cap, just use lowest cost. With cost cap, I know it sounds very cool that you might not lose some money. Now the last thing is bid strategy, and we have 2 options, which is cost cap and lowest cost. In the beginning, just use lowest cost. Do not try to complicate, and I know cost cap might sound very exciting. Basically what this does is that you set a cost, let's say, I don't know, $50, and then TikTok is going to help you to get add to cart in this case, because we're optimizing for add to cart, an add to cart that is going to cost at maximum $50. But the thing is that usually if they cannot do that, they will not spend enough money and they will not actually be able to optimize your ad set. Something that I forgot to say, but it's extremely important for TikTok, it's super important for them to get 50 events within 7 days. And when I'm saying events is that the event that you are trying to optimize. In our case, is add to cart. If you're not getting 50 add to cart within 7 days, then you will see that actually the performance is pretty bad, because they don't understand who to show your ads to. It's extremely important. If on Facebook we might not get 50 conversions and still get good results, on TikTok that doesn't work at all. So that's why it's important to use lowest cost. With lowest cost, basically they will try to get you as many at your cart or as many purchases possible with the lowest cost. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? Okay, so I hope that everything that I covered on the ad group is clear. And if you still have some questions, I know there are lots and lots of things to digest here. Just let me know in the comments below and I will make sure I will answer your question. Let's go to the ad level. So on the ad level, as usual, we will upload our ad creative. Let's call first of all our ad creative name, and I'm gonna give you again kind of blueprint, and then you could adjust that based on your ad creative. So usually it's our format and then the hook. So basically in TikTok you are going to use most of the time a video, and usually it's going to be a video, and then slash you will also add the hook. So whatever hooks you are displaying on that ad, you're gonna put this on your ad name level. So then when you come back to your ads manager, you will see very fast which ads are those and how they perform. And something that I don't know if I want to mention, but anyways, I will create a video about the top winning ad creative hooks that you could use for your Facebook and your TikTok ads. So this is something that I think you would be very excited, so stay tuned and keep watching my videos. Anyways, let's go back to our ad account, and here first of all you could run ads on TikTok without a TikTok page. So you simply put any kind of profile name, let's say Archie's profile, and then you upload also an image if you want. Or actually a better way is to use your TikTok account, where actually they're called Spark ads. So you could use either your personal TikTok account or use an account from an influencer if you're collaborating with a content creator, which is pretty cool because I noticed that these Spark ads, they work also pretty well because it makes the ad to not look like an ad. It makes your creative look very, very organic, which this is something that we have to work a lot on. But TikTok ads cannot be like an ad. You don't create ads, you create TikToks. This is the best way I can explain. So on Facebook and Instagram, you might create these high production and videos and things like that, and like have these pictures with testimonials. On TikTok, that will not work. You simply create TikToks. So you create videos that are on trend. You have a person who is talking about it, the product, who is explaining their experience with this product. You have to make very, very organic. So for ad details, we have basically two formats, which is a TikTok video or a collection ad. A collection ad is basically an instant experience. When someone clicks on that ad, it's going to pop up this instant experience, and all the product photography is going to be taken from your website. So they will see exactly the same pictures and the same products from your site. But I noticed that they don't work very well. And again, my assumption is that on TikTok, you want to create TikToks and not ads. The instant experience looks like an ad. That's why it doesn't really work very much. So most of the time you're going to use TikTok videos. You will upload your video, and for the text, make sure that you use something short and on the point. Do not try to make here a paragraph or an essay. Usually it's going to be super, super short. Like I'm talking about one single line or just a couple of words. And then moving forward, we have here the destination. So you're going to add the website URL. If you are promoting one single product, you will send the user to the product page. If you're promoting multiple products, send them to the collection page. That is going to increase the conversion rate. You don't want to send them to a home page because that will give them much more steps to complete their purchase. And you have to keep in mind that people are on TikTok to be entertained, and they're doing much more things in the meantime. They could walk down the street and they could do multiple things, and they click on your ad, and then you are trying to make them this purchase experience much more complicated, so they will forget about that. They will say, okay, I cannot find my product that you displayed, so I'm gonna leave the website. You have to send them directly to that landing page with that product you are promoting. For the call to action, you could use dynamic or standard. I like to use dynamic because that is because usually I noticed the performance is much better with dynamic. So what this is going to do is will automatically show different call to action text to different users to maximize performance. This is the only option that I use for dynamic. And then basically the last thing is you will check this box where you agree with all the terms from TikTok and things like that. And afterwards you will just click submit, and that's it. This is how you create your first TikTok campaign for your jewelry brand from scratch. Also, another question that you might have is that how many ad creatives should I have under one ad set? And the answer for that, I noticed that the ideal, if you're looking for that ideal number, is probably, I would say, 3 creatives. Because if I try to launch, let's say 1 or 2, that is not going to be enough for that optimization. So you want to have more variations, and you want to have like very, very different angles that you are promoting within those ad creatives. So you could find out what's working best for your brand. But also on the other hand, I don't want to use too many creatives, like 5, 6, 10, because in that case TikTok will prefer, like in most of the cases, 1 or 2 ad creatives, and the other ones will be kind of ghosted from the TikTok algorithms. So those ads will be completely ignored. And the setup is that simple. You have one campaign, one ad set where you set up your budget, and then 3 creatives. That's how you create your first campaign for your jewelry brand. If you want to see more videos about TikTok, drop a comment below and let me know exactly which topic would you want me to record a video on. And actually what is going to drive sales is compelling ad creatives and a great landing page. You could set up exactly how I said the entire TikTok ad account, but if the creative is not good, or your landing page doesn't talk very much about the value of your product, in that case it's going to be pretty difficult to convert. And I've got tons and tons of videos about creatives, how to create those creatives, blueprints for creatives. Just go ahead, check out my YouTube video, and you will see I have an entire playlist about creatives. Just simply go and search. You will notice tons and tons of content, and in the future I will put even more content about creatives, because I strongly believe this is what is the most important thing. So that was everything that I wanted to cover in this video. Thanks for being here, and until then, I will talk to you in my next video.